Last week I watched a video from Numberphile about generating random numbers. It's very interesting, you should go check it out. In it they explain that it's very difficult for computers to generate random numbers. The best they can do is generate pseudo-random numbers, or numbers that appear random, but in fact will follow some kind of sequence. And I'm going to tell you a story today about how, because of that fact, it was possible for a period of about 3 months to cheat on Deal or No Deal. You know how the show works: 22 sums of money, 22 identical sealed boxes, a sum of money in each box ranging from 1p to £250,000. The contestant has a box of their own, and as they open the other boxes they'll get a better idea of what the value of their box is.
It's sealed by our independent adjudicator, who seals all the boxes for us and is the only person who knows where the money is.
I'm not 100% sure on the method used by the independent adjudicator to load the boxes, but I'm fairly convinced it's nothing more complicated than all the values of the boxes from 1p to £250,000 in a bag. They pull out a value for box 1, a value for box 2, a value for box 3, and so on until all the boxes are filled. But this wasn't always the case. Shortly after Deal or No Deal began in 2006, someone came up with a different method of choosing which values go in which boxes, and that method was a random number generator on a computer. And as Numberphile has pointed out, computers are very, very bad at picking random numbers. I don't know how it was discovered, but I'm guessing it went something like this. A very big Deal or No Deal fan keeps a log every day of which values appeared in which boxes. They'll see in one show, for example, box 9 contained the £15,000, box 10 contained the £5,000, and box 11 contained the 10p. And then a few shows later they'll spot that box 18 contained the £15,000, box 19 contained the £5,000, and box 20 contained the 10p. And you look at that and you think, that's a little strange. 3 consecutive boxes in 2 different games having exactly the same values. So you look at the rest of the list and you notice that the order of the values in the boxes is identical on both shows, just offset a few boxes. The odds of that happening are astronomical, but that's not where it ended, because for a period of about 3 months, every game conformed to one of only 6 sequences. The only difference being they were offset. So, as an example, let's have a look at a game during that 3-month period where the sequences were being used. This is Jermaine's game. At the start of the game, he'd have no information at all to help him, so he'd have to pick the first box entirely at random.
Marlon, number 11.
5,000.
So now you know that the £5,000 is in box 11. Still not a load of help, you don't know which sequence is being used. Open another box.
Paula, number 4.
Hello. 15,000.
So now you know that box 11 has the £5,000 in it, and box 4 has the £15,000 in it. And suddenly, the only sequence that fits is sequence D. So, if for your third box you were to pick, say, box 9...
Marcus, number 9.
As someone who's already worked the sequence out, you know it's going to contain £250.
Fingers crossed.
250, that's better.
Unfortunately for Jermaine, he didn't know the sequence, which meant that he didn't know that the £250,000 was in box number 12. Box number 12, which he just happened to pick randomly before the game began. So, when the game came down to the wire, he'd said no deal to every single offer until the last one. He had 2 boxes left. One of them contained the £250,000, the other contained £1, and he didn't know which one was which. So when he was asked the question,
£75,000, deal or no deal?
he, like any of us who had the same information he did, said,
Deal.
cue inevitable disappointment.
£250,000 was there.
We know. No one on the production noticed this for 3 months, and they only noticed when people on internet forums had spotted the sequences and were predicting which values were going to come out next. Obviously, when they realised that the boxes weren't random, they went back to the balls in a bag method, and the series producer said, "This could have cost us millions in prize money if it had continued undetected, because we don't analyse the distribution of numbers, and the contestants often do." So there you have it, a lesson to be learned about random number generators. They're not that random, and if you need random numbers in relation to dealing with hundreds of thousands of pounds, better off with balls in a bag